Fall is almost here, so let's make a 3D paper tree. Hi, my name is Kelsey. I also call myself Dinosaur Mama, and today we are making a fall tree out of paper. This project is semi-customizable, super quick and easy to put together, and I think makes a really cute addition to your DIY fall decor. You can use it as a centerpiece for your table or in your entryway on your little mantle, whatever you want to call it. But it's a really nice project to make, and it showcases all of those fall colors. Let's get started in Cricut Design Space. All right, when you upload your 3D tree, it's only going to be one tree, so it's flat. It's not technically 3D yet, right? So you're going to have two parts, all of your leaves up top, and then you're going to have your tree down below. So the first thing you're gonna do is ungroup everything. So now your leaves are separated from your tree base. This basic cut down here, you're going to want to change to a score line, and we're going to attach those all together to that tree. So now this is one piece. So now my next thing that you want to do, you can add as many, I guess, branches you could say as you'd like. Make sure you're just scaling everything together. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. We're going to move this up just so I can see it like the actual tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate. So for mine, I did 5. So I'm just right clicking, duplicate. You can also do for a Mac, Command D, and that'll duplicate it. And then I did 5. You can do as many as you'd like. It's just going to get, you know, tighter and tighter as you do it with all the branches when you're folding. But I did have extra leaves left over with the amount that I give you here. So keep that in mind. You might not use all of them, but I think it'll look, I don't think it will. I know it will look really good along the bottom. That's what I did with mine. So this is what your total will look like. Again, you can scale this to as big or as small as you'd like. I made mine about 5 inches high. So you make sure you scale everything when you do it. You of course can just do it like this. You can make them bigger. It doesn't matter. Just remember that your leaves are going to individually cut out. So I did 3 different color leaves. I did like a darker mustardy yellow, an orange, and a maroon. For fall, you can change them all to the same color. You can make them green if you want. It's totally up to you, but that is your setup. And then I go to hit make it. If you do not have a scoring stylus, you can always just delete those score lines instead of changing it to a score. And my computer I have to change my settings. It should be 12 by 12 for everything, but this is what everything will look like. I cut everything out in the medium cardstock setting on fast mode, but of course that will depend on your machine and your blade. Let's get over to assembly. So you'll see I actually cut out 6 and then I ended up only using 5. And honestly, this whole time I thought I used 4, but then I went back and counted and I used 5. So I'll have 5 branches sticking out. And the first thing you want to do is fold on your score lines, and then we're going to match up those branches. The branches are the same on both sides, so you don't need to worry about anything there. But you're folding in on these, and then we're going to use some craft glue to attach them. So just fold and then line them up. And the first thing that I did was actually the branches for the whole tree, and then I moved on to the leaves. So you don't need to do one little section, add all the leaves in. I think it's actually easier if you build the whole tree and then add the leaves on after it is built. So here you'll see now I'm gluing, and I'm using my Barely Arts craft glue. I will link all of the materials and tools that you need below, but this is a fairly simple project in terms of that. You really just need glue, paper, and your Cricut machine, and the free SVG file, which again will be linked down below as well. So I'm gluing, and I'm being pretty liberal here with the glue because I want those branches to really stick together. So use a decent amount of craft glue. You can use hot glue if you want, but my only thing with that is it's going to be a little bit bulky. And so I prefer to use the quick drying craft glue. And so as you do it and your one section dries, you can go ahead and start folding your next section and adding that on as well. So you're going to fold on the score line for all of them and then attach all of them into a circular shape, I guess you would say. And then your last 2, you will attach those together on the opposite side. Now I have everything attached and I'm just gluing on my leaves. So you'll see little white dots. I use my craft glue and I did attempt to use hot glue in the beginning of my recording. But, sorry, my dog made a really weird noise and I like trailed off. But the hot glue, again, like it's kind of like a little bit bulky and I don't want it to dry too fast. I also don't want strength. So I ended up going back to my craft glue and yes, leaves would fall off and I would just pop them back on. So just take your time. I liked to just mix it up randomly. I put some leaves of the same color next to each other, some different, all over this entire project. But I worked in sections. So I just did like one side and I moved to the next side throughout it. And I don't think you need to watch me for 20 minutes. Literally, this video is me. It's 15 minutes of me putting all these leaves on. So I'm not going to show you the whole video. I'm just going to kind of skip to the end so you can see the final project because there's nothing else to it. All you're doing now is gluing on leaves. So I went through, I glued on leaves, and then at the end I actually went back and like filled in any spaces I might have missed, but that is the entire extent of the project. So here it is, the final tree. I'm just adding on a couple more leaves and making sure they're glued on nice, but that's the whole project. I mean, it's super simple to put together. Like I said, it took me like 15 minutes to add all the leaves on, but no, it didn't. I lied. It took me less than that. But that's the whole project. And so if you want to cut more leaves out, remember I cut out an extra tree, so that's why I have so many. But that is how you assemble your 3D tree. Thank you so much for joining me today as we made this fall tree. I hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned to more projects, Cricut news, craft news, and all things crafty. Stay crafty!